There's something else I need to mention about forgiveness. Forgiveness keeps you safe. Let me explain it to you. I'm going to break it down for you. When you forgive, you recognize that you're not God. You recognize that you can't control everything. You recognize that you can't change a situation. You can't change what happened. So that's humility, and that's a healthy mindset. Then you realize, okay, I can't change everything the way I want. I can't control everything. As unexpected things happen, that means that I'm a vulnerable creature. Yes, that's what I am. That means I need help. That's a healthy and beneficial state of mind, because now you realize that you need help. Then you realize, okay, I need help. And then you realize, okay, so if I need help, why did I think I could handle this all on my own? Where did I get this idea from? Oh, in society they tell me to take charge of your own life, take on responsibility, so I was conditioned the wrong way. Okay, so I was conditioned the wrong way. And because I was conditioned the wrong way, I wasn't aware of it, I acted in a way that was against my best interest. But now, because I realized I was conditioned the wrong way, I want to unlearn whatever was wrong with what I was taught, with how I was raised, so that now I can function in a safe way. And now you have developed an interest in knowing what's the right way. So now you participate in solutions. And because you participate in solutions, you learn to look at the bigger picture, you learn to examine things, and because of that, you will automatically avoid bad relationships in the future. And you will automatically notice good and healthy circumstances. All this happens when you forgive. Forgiveness is you giving up the urge to be God. Once you give up this urge to be God, which is something the world conditions you into, once you do this, solutions come to you, opportunities come to you, healing manifests. Once you forgive, doors open that are good, and doors that are bad will close. When you were hanging around with friends that set you up to be arrested, they put drugs in your car, and now you're arrested. And now you have to go to jail. Before you go to jail, you have to face a judge. And you don't know how you're going to explain to the judge that you were set up. You know that they won't believe you. But you realize, okay, I'm going to forgive them. I was wrong to hang out with them. And now you go to jail for 2 years, but after 3 weeks, you're out. Why? Because while you were forgiving them, while you were processing them, the negative hold they had on you disappeared. And because that vanished, the trap they set for you also lost its grip on you. So the trap was for you to go to jail, but now jail has no grip on you, so jail wants you out. Jail, or let's say prison, doesn't want you there, so they want you out. So now even though you were convicted to go to prison, prison doesn't want you, because you bring this positivity over there, and the people there, neither the guards nor the prisoners, they don't want that, but you're there. So they will work out a way to get rid of you. So the rejection of the prison is your freedom. But how could that happen? Because you processed what happened. And because you processed what happened, now that you're out of jail, you will never feel this urge to just bond with people based on superficial things anymore. Now, when you relate to other people, you relate to them based on what's there. You will relate to other people based on constructive, not plans, based on constructive ideas, or you relate to others in a more constructive way. So something bad happened, but because you forgive, the bad thing that happened eventually works out in your favor, instead of it destroying you. So forgiveness keeps you healthy, it keeps you sane, and it keeps you safe. Unforgiveness appears to give you a leverage, but in fact, it's destroying you. People that are in unforgiveness, their empathy will fade away. So they'll become narcissistic over time. They don't even notice it themselves, but they become more harsh and less sensitive to the needs and concerns of others. They'll be more mainly concerned about themselves, their business. When you're upset, it's your business. You have the separation mindset going on. Those that remain in unforgiveness, they'll attract danger onto them. Why? Because if you had an ex and the ex cheated on you, Instead, if you realize, okay, something is wrong with that individual, you will now blame yourself because you don't examine your expectations. So now you're so upset with the other individual, and that you meditating negative on that individual keeps you in the negative. So now you want relief from negative meditation that you are doing. So you will find people that will console you and give you relief, but now you're stuck in a negative condition with people that will keep you in the negative. So you'll go from bad to worse. It was bad enough that the individual cheated on you, but now you're trapped in a cycle of negativity because you don't want to reflect on yourself. And before you know it, you'll be the one attacking others because you feel frightened by them, because you're projecting your fright on them. So you've become the perpetrator, but you still feel like you're the victim. That is what happens when you hold on to unforgiveness. Unforgiveness will turn you into a monster. Now, if you are a believer, the Holy Spirit will never let it come so far. The Holy Spirit will chastise you. The Holy Spirit will even smack you down here and there, of course in love, just to free you from bitterness. But when you aren't born again and you hold on to unforgiveness, you'll turn into a monster. Believers will never turn into a monster because we have the Holy Spirit that will chastise us for our own well-being. Just realize, even as a believer, when you hold on to unforgiveness, you attract dangerous people, filthy people, harmful people, bad circumstances, accidents. You attract a lot of misery onto you when you're in unforgiveness. So forgiveness is about you remaining safe by shaking off danger off you. And you shake off the danger by processing what happened. And by processing what happened, the danger has no grip on you anymore. So in the future, it won't affect you anymore. So forgiveness is realistic, it's practical, it's natural, it's sane. So you ought to forgive. Forgiveness is not the same as reconciliation. I mentioned before, you can't have amnesty, you can't grant anyone amnesty if there's no justice. Forgiveness is your attitude, so that you are purged from danger. Amnesty is you reconciling and being at peace completely, and being completely vulnerable to the former offender, because they are not offenders anymore. Amnesty can only happen if they're not offenders anymore. Amnesty can only happen when they forfeited their bad ways and now they're back. Amnesty can only happen if both you and the offender and the people around are doing better. If that's not the case, no amnesty can occur. So forgiveness is not the same as amnesty. Don't confuse the two. Always forgive. But don't grant amnesty to those that don't want to comply with justice. That's it for now. Keep up with Christ and be at peace.